Hey guys, it's Elizabeth finding Elizabeth, and this is my week 957 post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I'm kidding. This is, I don't know how many weeks it is. Maybe I'll look that up. Maybe I won't. Maybe who gives a crap. But I am 5 years this week since I started my weight loss surgery process. So in January of 2014, I started that at 402 pounds. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on April 14th, 2014, and at that time I weighed 360.6 pounds. And then I got to my lowest of 198 for about -2 seconds, and then sort of stayed between 208 and 212 was kind of where I stayed, and then experienced some regain of up to the highest was about 238 pounds. No reason other than that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Nothing to blame it on other than my own habits changing and me using food to cope with emotions. And then in August I decided to get my shit together and took about a month off of that, and now I'm back. And so I've been back sort of on track to whatever that means. For 2 weeks, I have lost 10 pounds. I was, I think, 237 when I started. I'm 227, which tells you that I was retaining a lot of water weight because I have not been perfect. But keto is a lifestyle, and when you go off, there is a definite bounce back. So yeah, I lost most of that weight the first week. So what am I doing? What am I thinking about? What's going on? What's going on in Liz land? So I started this last week. I called this like a Liz streak video. And I started thinking about that, and I started realizing, you know, one of the things that I talk a lot about is this sense of, I think a lot of people who are overweight struggle with this need to be perfect. So it's like every, you know, I mean, how many Januaries did I wake up and say, okay, if I eat nothing for 100 days, I'll lose 100 pounds. I mean, and then you blow it one day and you're done. And it's like, I needed to figure out something that was less of, that gave me a little room to not be perfect, because this is a lifestyle. So what I decided to do is what I'm calling the 80-20, that's what I'm tracking, is 80-20. So I have all these things, and I'm going to link below in the description box to show you what I'm actually tracking. And you guys can look, I mean, I update it every day. You can continue to look at it. But I have two things that I'm tracking. One is health related. So that is, hold on, let me pull it up real quick so I know what I'm talking about. So the one that is health related is glucose and keto testing. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I've been testing my glucose and ketos multiple times, not ketones multiple times a day, but glucose multiple times a day, weighing every day. Those things for me are about accountability, because if I am not looking at that, it is very easy for me to fall into denial. Keto AF, we all know what that means. For me, that means 20 net carbs or less. And trying to hit a higher fat goal. I'm not worrying so much about protein at this moment. It's exercising, it's tracking, it's water, it's no alcohol, and it's vitamins. Okay, so of those things, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see this on here, but I'll link it down below. But so I basically take total days completed, come up with that percentage, and multiply it out to a percentage. So right now, of those things, in the last 2 weeks, I'm at an 89.32 percentage. So that is well within the range of where I want to be. And then I have a whole other one that's life related. So it's working on my book. It's doing my writing and reading and prayer and meditation and all that stuff that I do. It's getting out in nature. It's trying to learn Spanish, because I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Bogota. And my new niece or nephew is going to speak Spanish. It's making sure I connect with family. It's paying attention to my finances. It's reading. It's doing some kind of art. It's making sure there are certain people in my life that I have a bit of a problem respecting their boundaries, and it's making sure that I'm doing that. So on those things, those life and non-health things, sorry, I closed it. I am at like 99%. So those are things that I do every day. But this 80-20 principle gives me a little it gives me a little room. It gives me a little bit of room to not be perfect and to create the lifestyle that I want. So that's where I'm at. I don't know if I've said this already because I've made a couple of bloopers, but I'm shooting right now for 210 because that's when I can get plastics consults. And I do not know that without plastics, I am going to go hugely further than that. So testing my glucose has been very interesting. Keto Connect did a video about testing glucose and ketones, and it was interesting to me to hear them talk about the importance of testing your glucose over the importance of testing your ketones, which made total sense to me when I thought about it, because really what you're trying to measure, I think, in both, or what you're trying to manage in both being eating keto lifestyle and intermittent fasting, which I'm not doing, but that whole thing is about managing your insulin fluctuations. So I have been I test my ketones in the morning and at night just because I'm curious, and I will probably stop doing that after a while. I'm going to do it at least for a couple weeks, but I've been testing my blood glucose before I eat and then an hour after I eat to see what my insulin reaction is to the food. And that has been interesting. I found some interesting things, and it's not true on every day, but I have an insulin reaction. All my glucose readings are normal. Even if I'm saying I'm having a reaction, it just means that my glucose is going up much higher than it does at any other time. So Tarani syrup, I have a little bit of a reaction to that. I have and I'm going to test it again. I may test it again tonight. A huge reaction to this mug cake I was making. Huge. I mean, my blood glucose before I ate it was like 85, and then an hour afterwards it was 135. So it's really educating me and telling me the things that I need to know about what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And I like that. It gives me a sense of power and control. Anyway, that's what's going on with me in terms of life. Life is good, you know. It's good. It's a new chapter. I'm working full-time now, which is very different. I have, I still work from home, but I'm in LA a lot for meetings, and I find that it's, that I just didn't quite realize how much time I had before. I still have a lot of time compared to my friends. I have tons of time. I'm working out with Brandon 5 days a week at Surf City CrossFit. We're doing a 6 week challenge, and there are cash prizes based on percentage of fat lost, and I'm hoping that I will be in the running for one of those prizes. So I'm doing that 5 days a week, and then walking or yoga on the weekends. I am just figuring things out. Figuring out what I want in my life and how to allow that in. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And, okay, Naked Truth. I want to do one Naked Truth a month. I want them to be on topic areas. I'm looking for guests. The 2 topic areas that I'm identifying for the first 2 months are, number 1, when you had weight loss surgery and you don't feel like a success. I would like to get a couple people to talk about that. So if you're interested, message below. And the other one is transfer addiction. So if you feel like you have something to say about either of those topics, send me a message below, and I'll set up a chance for a little time for us to talk on Google Hangout if I don't already know you. Because here's one thing I learned from the Dr. V episode. Never, ever, 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 ever do a live show with somebody you have never had a conversation with. So I won't be doing that. Anyway, I just love you guys and love being back in the community. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do it. Bariatric Badass. That's my place. That's my home. That's where I love interacting with you guys. And yeah, that's it. I will see you next Thursday.